Hello everyone. The book I want to introduce today is The Power to Lead, and the author is Joseph. First of all, I want to explain why I choose this book. Because I returned to China due to COVID-19 and helped my mom to manage her career in China. In the process, I discovered the importance of leadership and the management because employees need to be cultivated. When you use the correct way to lead them, they will become better and vice versa. So I choose this book. Also, I can't guarantee that I will show this book in a very interested way. What I can guarantee is that I really like this book. So in this book, there are 5 contents in this book, namely 1. Leadership, 2. Leadership and power, 3. Types and skills, 4. Contextual intelligence, and 5. Good and bad leaders. The book tells us that leadership involves power, but not all power is leadership. Just like you bumbling the enemy and letting the enemy submit and follow is completely different. Therefore, effective leadership requires a combination of soft power and hard power. The author calls this smart power. For example, using words to attract and persuade each other is soft power, and using power to hire and dismiss each other is So using words to attract and persuade each other is soft power, and using power to hire and dismiss each other is hard power. So for the author, leadership is people who help a group to create and achieve common goals. And the leadership is composed of 3 parts. There are leaders, followers, and the environment in which they interact. In addition, we also need to know 3 words, namely be, know, and do. Be is information of personal value, partly from training and partly from practice. Know is to know, to obtain analytical skills through training. Do is action. There are training and practical factors. The most important thing, in my opinion, is practice. So learning from mistake, leaders are also divided into charismatic and non-charismatic leaders. If you read this book, you will know it. At the same time, as a leader, you need to have a certain emotional intelligence, which is reflected in 1. Self-control, and 2. Influencing others. Because your word and deeds will actually affect the people around you. Not to mention your subordinates. Take me as an example. Also, my relationship with my parents is like friends now. So my parents were my leader when I was young. So if they tell me that wasting food is wrong and they have done it every time to eat all of the food, then I will be influenced by them and feel that wasting food is wrong. In addition, communication is also very important, even as an ordinary employee. One should also learn how to efficiently communicate with others. A good leader also needs to have foresight. When encouraging employees, he needs to draw an inspiration for them, the vision of the future, and use it to encourage employees. At the same time, employees should be given a sense of crisis. Another point to consider is that leaders need to triple moral judgment. 1 is to look at the goal, the 2nd is to look at the way, and the 3rd is to look at the consequences of the leader's own group and the outside of the group. The era of hard power where leaders rely on commands to subdue their subordinates and long past. The organization structure in the information age is flatter, and the era of soft power rely on personal charm has long come. The core mission of a leader is to shape the identity of the group, educate and inspire the message effectively, comment the mission of the organization, and drive the message with more as a more lofty mission. Personal charming helps to mobilize the various resources and talents. So in flexible leaderships, leader must be good at observing the needs of the organization and the message for change. Be good at shaping group identity and setting up a higher mission. And use personal charm to attract and unite the message. At the same time, they must pay attention to different scenario and cultural backgrounds. So excellent leader must learn to empower their subordinates so that their entire entrepreneurial spirit can be put into practice. So there is a problem. So how to balance imperative rights and flexible rights? In a period of peace and smoothness, profit-driving leadership or command leadership can be applied. But in time of strong demand for change turbulence, flexible leadership is more effective. But beware of the suspicion of brainwashing soft leadership that overemphasizes group consistency. At certain time of crisis, leader must learn to remain calm and let the event ferment so that the message have the urgency to call for change, thereby strengthening the rationality of the leader's actions and the loyalty of the message. The core skills of flexible leadership include higher emotional intelligence, communication skill, and foresight. So the core skills of hidden leadership include organizational skill and political skill. Leaders who lack expressive skill can also communicate their charisma and collective mission by maintaining a small circle of believers through them. So the good point about this book is that I think first, he clearly told me what are the characteristics of a good leader. And the second point is how to use the soft power and hard power of a leader. The third point is that as a leader, you must have strong self-control, because this is difficult for me now. So the log of this book is that there are no specific examples for me to learn, because I am in this situation now. So I will want to say some specific example to learn. And the first practical part is about emotional intelligence, because I can intuitively associate with the example of my family, which makes me very useful. And the second point is that effective communication with employees is very important, because time is precious and many things need to be done. The third point is to be know and do. So because I feel that to be a successful leader, you first need to do all of this yourself. It's about my introduction to this book. So I hope you can read it if you are interested. Thanks.